I do. Can you hear me?
What's up, y'all? This episode 24 of People's Podcast. Today's topic is parenting. Whether it's good parenting, bad parenting, co-parenting, single parenting, and how it affects us, and then our fears, worries. I'm gonna start off by letting everybody introduce themselves. I'm gonna start first. I'm Abdul, then everybody introduce themselves. Then we go get it started.
All right. I'm
Don't
Andrea
y'all speak at
Gordon.
once now.
All right. I'm Andrea Gordon. I'm from FC. Um, actually represent Baton Rouge, Louisiana at the moment. Got my company T-shirt on. Representing for my business and everything like that. And
What's the
me
name
and
of your
Abdul
business?
have been friends for like what over 20 years.
What's the name
Yeah.
of your business?
Biz writer, my biz writer.
My biz runner. We're gonna get back to that
Hmm.
again. My name is Ricky Wells.
Day Irvin.
Dub chat.
All right, we gonna get this. We got history though. We got classic albums we done back in the day. I'm not gonna get into that just right now though. But
Oh, I need to play some of that.
don't do that. Don't do
You
that. I will stop this right now. Don't
I
play
No,
got
it's
none
on
a
of.
cassette. Don't
question.
worry.
Just
It's on
Oh,
since we
cassette
talking
tape.
about
consent.
parenting,
But yeah,
I
but
was gonna ask,
go ahead.
what do you call the style of parenting where you just have the kid and you just let it do whatever it wanna do? What do you
no
call that?
parent,
There's none. There's
no
No,
none.
no, no,
That's
no. The parent, you can be, it's a parent in the house, might even be two parents in the house, but they just ain't doing nothing with the child. The child do whatever they want.
that's not parenting.
What style of parenting do you call that?
right.
That's no style. Like it's not.
It's called
I
raising
wouldn't
like
call it.
squirrels.
Non-existent.
It's freestyling, ain't it?
I would call
Nah,
Yeah.
it
freestyle got some type of
about the
style. That ain't no style.
Shit.
Yeah, it has to be some type of
It's
order.
called kid style.
So,
Let that motherfucker do what it please.
mm.
Of
Nah,
course, I
yeah.
don't
yeah.
follow that. I'm just lately we seem to see a lot of that.
My bad, y'all. My motherfucking phone
Okay.
falling.
No, you good. But a lot of times when I see parents, see kids and stuff doing something real reckless or whatever, I don't even get mad at them. I'm not mad at them at the least because I'm thinking like, especially if they're underage, where's your parents at? Who taught you? Somebody should have been to teach you something.
But
Mm.
we
Well,
don't
my
have
question
any of
is,
that, you know.
Yeah.
I'm assuming everybody on this panel is 38 plus, right?
at
Yeah.
least, yeah.
And I'm pretty sure we was all taught to respect our elders. I
Yeah.
don't think that's something that's put into these new generation of kids. They pretty much just do and say whatever they want with no consequence.
They
Okay.
don't
Okay.
have. They don't
Me
feel like they have
personally, I just
consequences.
missed that era of where the neighbors and everybody will beat your ass before your parents did. I missed
Yeah,
that
that was
era.
my
But
area.
so that's my question then. So this new generation that we're talking about, like all of us, we're probably approaching 40, or even over 40 in some cases. But so that new generation that we're talking about, they're old enough to become parents now. So thinking back to that, like, how did your upbringing affect whether or not you wanted to be a parent? Like, did it make it harder for you to get into that relationship and have kids and own up and become a mother or a father, or did it make it, you know, did it make you want kids, or did it make you want to stay away from it?
That's a
Um,
damn good question. Let's go around the table with that one.
I feel like from my upbringing, no, I wanted to make sure I was away from the environment that I came up in to even think about bringing somebody into the world because I couldn't picture like to this day even with my adult kid or my child I couldn't picture them being in the same environment I came in. So I took that in consideration once I was farly removed from my environment. Then it's a possibility. Then after that though, after the fact though, the kids being born, I took the basic standpoint of I learned what not to do.
Mm,
So with that, I'm not gonna do this, not gonna do that. And then every child is different. You learn something, and I mean, I think you get better as the kids go by, or you get better with it as time goes by. I mean, nothing's perfect. Kids don't come with a manual.
So
So
you would say for each child there is a different method to how you handle the child.
absolutely there's a different method because like I was saying, all children are different. There's absolutely a different method. But the same it's still the same morals and values though.
So how did you feel like when you first, got that call or got that whatever text or however it happened
It was
that,
an
hey, I'm pregnant.
ultrasound.
So when you first got that ultrasound picture, because we good for that. It got an ultrasound. But so how did you feel like that? Was that like butterflies all in your stomach? Like, oh my God, I can't do this. I'm not ready. Or was it like, yes, I'm gonna be a dad?
It was more so like, what you gonna do? What you gonna do? What you gonna do? What you gonna do? What you gonna do?
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Okay.
well, ready or not, I mean, you got to own up to it.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't hit until that moment you see that damn child for the first time, and then you black out, and you sitting in a lazy boy like 30 minutes later, and they won't let you hold the baby because you got because you still
Right.
weak because you passed out. So yeah,
Oh my goodness.
yeah, it hits different though once you see it. Once you see that child, it does something to you. I think everybody can agree with that with kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely a different feeling once they actually there. I can't really say I don't. I'm assuming like women usually like bond with a child right off the rip, soon as they know they're pregnant and whatnot. Y'all go through that whole 9 to 10 months, where you constantly dealing with the growing pains of that child formulating or whatever you want to call it in the womb. I know for me, my experience is like, okay, coming up with my background and everything, I've always wanted to be, I'm a family man by nature, you know what I mean? That's what I care about the most. And I always wanted to be a father. So it definitely, for men, I think, I can speak for everybody on the panel right now. It light a fire under our ass to make our drive go that much harder because we know that we got to provide for these kids. I was raised up where I got my ass whooped. You know what I mean? I ain't get beatings for stupid shit, petty shit.
It didn't even make no difference. If you did do nothing, you should have done something. We came up.
I did some unforgivable shit and I had to be reprimanded. That's usually how it goes. You know
That's
what
where
I
it's
mean?
supposed to go.
And I think I still got that same style, sparing not the rod and spoil the child. My kids spoiled as fuck, but they know like daddy don't play no shit. So, if I say something,
right,
get it done, this, that, and the third, but everything don't cost for no ass whooping either. But for the most part, I think I ain't really got to do but raise my voice and that's it. You know what I mean? Like if I do hand out an ass whooping.
And that's the approach that we have. You evolved into that person that that's all it takes. Every kid don't need to be you put your hands on them.
No, it's a thin line between reprimanding
discipline
your child
and abuse. Yeah, definitely.
And see, I never got whoopings growing up. I mean, that just wasn't. I mean, because I was raised by my dad exclusively, so that would have been dangerous. You know what I'm saying? He's a grown man, so you have to be very, very careful.
Oh
in
yeah.
How you discipline your
but normally the pop is the one that's issuing out the ass whooping. If you in a 2-parent household.
Mm-hmm.
Or
see,
in your case, 1-parent household, usually the pops is mom since the age of time, wait till your father get home type of shit.
Yeah.
Well, I know for a fact Willie did not play.
There you go. I was about to say, Daddy had a thunder voice or whatever.
Man,
like that. He would just like shut up my bones and everything like that. Like,
I remember one time I called him like, "Don't call here no more." I'm like, "Okay, I won't." Okay, bye. But yeah, he definitely.
That's the truth.
But at the same time, you can say that it actually helped you in the long run. Didn't you end up with a cell phone?
From who though? So I'm just
Yeah, for sure. Okay.
So you know, shit.
I'm gonna put
In,
you on blast
in,
since you
I
put
in
me
see
on
the
that.
blast.
early
I see
'80s,
that.
with
It's
the
all
cell
good.
phone and that pager, a lot of the black households, you wouldn't finna have no cell phone or no pager because you only people that got them is doctors and drug dealers, and you ain't neither one. So
Shoot,
Yeah.
I only got one when I was grown. I was
See, I had
grown.
to
yeah,
hide it though.
Yeah, I
growing
was
up, shit. I
gonna
was
say
in middle school. If you had a pager in middle school,
Yeah, I
you
had a
was
pager
motherfucking
though.
man.
Yeah.
I had a pager though. I thought I was sweet. I had a pager.
I had a
I had to
pager
yeah,
keep
I
it
was
clock.
to myself, though.
I had to keep my
Not
page on
friends.
vibrate. Damn it. No,
Shoot,
I didn't have
I was in love with that little
I do.
prepaid cell phone. I used to be at the Dairy Mart buying minutes and stuff. Shoot,
I
yeah.
had to send out smoke
That's how I
signals. I was
went.
poor. We ain't had that shit. You got them call the motherfucker on three-way and all that fly shit. That's what we was doing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, that
I'm
was
talking
the
about
days right there. You on three-way
landline.
calling.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
You know, you was
Landline.
smoke and listen to a motherfucking conversation. You hold the mute button down.
So I remember when Cricket came out, I had my first little Cricket phone. I thought,
There
boy,
you go.
Shit, cricket nationwide now.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Remember when Boost was minutes?
Oh,
Yeah. Metro, all
What
them.
about the
What
bag?
y'all think about these kids having cell phones?
man,
I don't like it.
my niece was
How
what,
old
11,
could you
12
be to
with the
be able to have a cell
iPhone.
phone?
The age to where they can be alone by themselves, like per se walking to a bus stop or something.
Yeah, like I got mine. I got accounts for my two boys, and they're 9 and 12. So I do have phones for them, but they ain't not no damn iPhones and none of that. Just basic family plan
Shit.
phones.
A smartphone is a smartphone. It don't matter if it's an Android or an iPhone.
Yeah.
Well,
But
the
you know,
price
my upbringing was different though, because I never, between the ages of probably infancy really until I was a teenager, I ain't go nowhere by myself. Like my dad was like almost every doggone where. The only place I really went was like school or something, or to a friend house or something. But other than that, we ain't, so it seems like kids are being raised different where they have a lot more independence than what we
They
were used
is.
to.
They're
I
pretty much
believe
raising
an
themselves.
ass whooping is a lost art form nowadays.
Like a lot of people
A
leave
lot of
TV
our-
society to raise their kids.
Lost art form, bro.
yeah.
Cause Big Mama and them ain't play that shit. Whatever the fuck they reach, you finna get it. You know what I mean? Like shit. These kids don't know nothing about no Switch. They don't know nothing. And the worst thing, go pick your own Switch, and then you thought you was gonna be smart and get that little skinny one, and that's the worst one. That's the one
that
be
must
the
don't
wet
break.
part. Yeah.
My
We used to have
grandma
the
was
we used to have the
Beat
weep.
you like
Roll
an
good.
You know what a weeping willow tree is?
Oh,
Mhm.
Those willow trees,
all of the branches hang and shit.
they real
Mhm.
slender, but they strong, and you can braid them too.
Yeah,
Awesome.
they get the peel in them shits. That's a whip right there.
Well,
Yeah,
I
that
mean,
used to do. Shit.
I got
My
hit with
granny
a bamboo fishing pole
God
with the hook still in it.
damn.
Yeah.
And
And leave some
So I got a question for all the parents right now. Like, do y'all feel judged as parents because society always looking back and talking about how kids should be raised, and here y'all are raising kids. So do y'all feel like everything you do is in the public's eye, or like everybody kind of just zoning in on how you raise your children?
Now it is.
let me chime in on that one. You're gonna be judged, especially if you're doing stuff the right way or the old-fashioned way.
Okay.
Because
Okay.
people gonna look the new way, worldly way ain't the way in my eyes.
It's not.
It's not the way. So
I mean, look at this generation of kids.
the newer generation of parents and stuff.
2000s and 90s, and I want to say like 95 and up. Horrible.
So yeah, you do get judged and looked at different, but I don't know no other way.
But we not allowed to chastise our child either, because if you spank your child in the store for acting out, you could potentially go to jail for that shit.
Or you
Yeah,
got the parents that you try to tell the parents about their child, and the parents ready to fight you.
Yeah.
Or they're babies. Like I mean, I was a
Right.
teenage parent. I got pregnant at 15, going on 16. So I got judged a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But I had a lot of help from my mom also, but she was strict. So
But
I don't
now
know.
it seemed like society is always trying to tell parents, okay, you need to be, I don't know, like a liberal parent, like you need to let your kids be gender fluid, you
Yeah.
need to do
Oh
all of
no,
this kind
man.
of stuff.
But see,
I'm like,
that's a
well,
problem in
damn.
itself.
Well,
Society shouldn't be raising nobody. If we
but a
got to
lot of
base
parents, a
what
lot
we
of
do off of
people,
society,
this
society is
society
fucked
raising
up.
kids up. A lot of people, like the TV raises kids, you know, the
Yeah,
YouTube and school
yeah.
system, they leave it off on the schools to do it, and they don't really
Right.
participate in the kids, you know, like culture or whatever you want to call it. They're not there. These kids
Mhm.
are
Ain't
shoot.
no when it come down to society, ain't no culture with these kids.
No, it's whatever
Because
the
I
status.
mean, everybody. It would have been nice to have some white people on the panel today, but everybody on the panel, we all color folk. We grew up in a
Mhm.
background where even if you wouldn't get your ass whooped in our culture, getting your ass whooped as a child was a norm. That was a staple.
Right.
If
Heck
you
yeah.
fucked up
Mhm.
royally, you know that you was finna get that foot to ass.
Yeah.
And
Fuck
we
yeah.
don't have that now. You got
We got
kids now where they talking crazy to their parents, and their parents can't say shit because they like, I'll call the police right now on you. What?
Mhm.
I'm not gonna do my homework, Karen. Make me, Karen. You know what I mean?
oh
Right.
God.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean that's true. But at the
So
same time,
do y'all feel, oh, I'm sorry, I
no,
just
go ahead,
wanted to go
go
back
ahead.
into that. So do y'all feel judged on the types of things that you would buy, or like the PS5 came out, so everybody trying to get that for their kids. They buy their kids Jordans and stuff like that. They never had baby
Your kid
shoes.
deserve
They
it.
just go right into, well, I mean, people getting judged by it. Like if you're a parent that can afford that, do you
You
feel
should get
that,
judged by it because if little Tay Tay is 8, 9 years old and little Tay Tay can't read and write, he barely know 1+1, and you finna go out and get him a $200 pair of J's, a whole new $300 outfit plus a video game
Mhm.
system that's like $600+, and this little motherfucker struggling to even know his own address and spell his name. Tay Tay don't
right?
deserve that shit.
Well, no, it's hindering
Right.
them too as in
Bad
growth.
behavior.
He not gonna grow up and appreciate the value of hard work or value of anything material.
Most don't.
But do
That's
y'all
why a
think
lot of
that's all?
people, most kids don't. That's why you have a lot of parents at an early age make their kids work and have chores and shit so they can understand that shit. My
Yeah.
sister was just telling me how she took her daughter to Dick's Sporting Goods. That's where I go to get a lot of my like Nike
Mhm.
jumpsuits and joggers and shit like that, right?
Yeah,
So she
they
was
got good
like,
stuff.
my niece went in there and spent $500 of the money that she got for like present money and shit. So she was in there shopping and she
Okay.
bought all that shit. My sister said on the ride home, she felt like her daughter's whole vibe changed. She asked her, baby, what's wrong? She was like, you just made me go in there and spend all of that money. Now I ain't got no money. So I ain't make you do nothing. You said you wanted to go to the store and buy these outfits. So I took you where you wanted to go shopping at. Now you see how much this shit costs. Now you understand it. You know what I mean? So now she got a better idea of the value of money and, you know, what it
Wow.
takes to get that money.
That's a good lesson though. That's a
Yeah, a
real good
great lesson.
lesson. Because when I was growing up, I had that first summer job, and that's how me and Abdul met or whatever. I was coming home from work, and I had to get on the city bus to get home or whatever. And I was, older, and I used to buy all my clothes where I worked at, and I worked at Myers. So I just, I ain't really know like, okay, well, it's different styles and all that kind of stuff that you need to get into. I ain't know about none of that till I was in college, really. So I used to
A lot
just
of
buy
kids
basic
don't.
stuff.
If
Mhm.
you was to let a 4 or 5-year-old go pick out some clothes, they not trying to go to the Louis Vuitton store. They want
True.
Right,
fucking Paw Patrol
right.
and whatever else is popular at the time.
Exactly,
I can guarantee you
exactly.
the little
That's
kid with
all
some
they
J's
want.
on, jealous of the little boy with the Spider-Man shoes
Spider-Man
on.
shoes,
That light
exactly,
up.
because he
Yeah,
run
that
That
around
light
light
the
up.
up.
house doing that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, we taught the boys early, like, if you want to buy these shoes, you're not gonna have no money left for your games and whatever else, your little cards and memberships. You're not gonna have that.
Sometimes
You
you
know
gotta
what I'm
make a
saying?
quick
So
decision.
we had to, hey, teach them early. Teach them early. Look, so
Mhm.
they're not real materialistic. I try not to teach them none of my children. I went through that with my older ones, my 90s babies and all that. I went through that one because I got 3 grown ones. And
Mhm.
once again, we had to like show them basically what life is. You're gonna watch us try to learn how to pay these bills, work to do this, and show you what's going on, so you'll know, you know what I'm saying, this shit really not worth it. You can get more or something else versus trying to spend all this money on a name brand item. And it's pretty so far, except for my oldest son, you know, my girls, they're budget and they're not materialistic and they work for theirs. You know, I try to teach
it's easier said than done for when because you got to bring sex into that, because women, y'all can motherfucking go to Rainbow or
and look like $1 million bucks
and
and spend only like $30.
teach the boys to do that too.
$30.
Men can do that too also, you know, it's just
Yeah,
how
to
you
an extent,
How?
you know,
When you're the
if
shoes
I
alone.
put a function with a City Trends outfit on, you know what I mean? They gonna be it's gonna be
It's gonna be about 12 people in the function with the same outfit on.
You gotta spend all that money on no name brand shit. You know, we just never been on that. Like I try to teach them not to be on Starstruck and be on name brands.
Right.
And tags.
Hey, I'm gonna drop a jewel for y'all.
Because you put
With guys, y'all listening?
Huh?
I'm gonna drop a jewel for y'all with guys. Y'all listening?
I'm listening.
Oh, you already know this. You get a nice pair of shoes, and all you need is like a little $10, $15 pair of slacks pants and a little cheap shirt. You off and running.
I mean, really, that's hard. It's not hard.
It's
I
how
never thought that though. The first thing a woman look at is your shoes, right?
Exactly.
it's not the clothes that you wear, man. It's how you wear the clothes.
Exactly.
Hey man, people don't understand that. I had to start telling like a lot of the cats that's in my age range, someone up under me, like, man, you spent all this money on some J's, man, but you know you could have came to the function with some Pumas on, and that same broad that you think want this cat with them J's is fucking with the nigga with the City Trend outfit on. You know what I'm saying?
I tell you how culture raised us, because you know that shows you know it's really hard. It's a lot of programming aimed towards these kids.
Yes, it is.
It's hard
at
to
an early age.
raising standards and all of that. You still gotta fight.
It starts as soon as they come out though too. So yeah, it's definitely hard.
Yeah, you know, if we getting programmed straight out of the womb, man, straight out of the womb.
I mean, straight spellcraft on the kids constantly. As soon as they come out, they're shooting them with shots. That's fucking their brain patterns up, their thought processes. And then you got them in school with all these fucked up traditions and whatever they got going on. Mm-hmm. Oh, this is the fad this week, and we're all jumping off the bridge next week. You know, it's always something. These kids, they're under more pressure.
Well, that's the thing, though. Mine doesn't do any of that. They're in the school and everything. Like, it's none of that pagan holidays and stuff like that. She go to church every Sunday. It's a different. It's a different
paganistic shit in the church, though, bro.
I'm just saying, just keeping it back to the basics, though.
I mean, look Christians, if they time to shine.
The one thing I say about
Christmas and the trees and whatnot, but most of these Christians, you go to their house, they got the trees with the lights, and that's all pagan shit.
All of that.
Whatever you feel about religion, I tell you this though, it will keep you humble than a mug, and you need that humility to get the right.
If you properly studying and abiding by your religion's rules and guidelines, because anybody can claim that they Muslim or Christian or Buddhist or whatever. You can claim that shit, but if you ain't living by what that book tell you, what's the point of that shit?
Right.
And that's why you got so much beef right now with people that's in the church with the Christian community, because there's so much truth coming out about how people is carrying on with these pagan rituals that have nothing to do with following Christ. So you gonna have them issues, you know what I mean? That's like
the number one
being around a bunch of Islamic folk and they eating pork and not keeping Ramadan and all of that. You know what I mean? They ain't even praying to the east. They doing all type of other stuff. How you call yourself Islamic and you ain't following none of this?
Yeah, they are. It's all the whole thing is a hypocrisy. Like it's all everybody hypocrites in that whole situation. Like. If you just practice,
not everybody,
you know.
Not everybody.
Do y'all feel like it's important to raise your kids with faith at these times?
Absolutely. Like, now better time than ever.
Even without these times, it's very important. Even if
without
nobody
incorporating
else believe, you got to understand. Like religions teach people to have a certain type of morals, certain type of values. Dignity and respect to carry themselves a certain way. So when you take that element out of it, a lot of these people don't have that everyday respect for one another because they don't have that foundation of morals and values. Now, not to say that you could be atheist and not believe in nothing and still be a good person. I'm not going to say that that's not possible. But the people that was not had these things taught to them and put into them, we seeing the fruits of it right now. You know a tree by its fruits, right? So when you sit back and you look at these,
Oh, you know he was telling the truth.
All
right. That's exactly what happened.
Some really good people form a religion or anything. You got more issues because you have problems that people don't have a belief system. So do what thou will is the law of the land. And when people doing whatever the fuck they want to, they're not governed by nothing. You're gonna have issues.
Right. That's right.
I mean,
that's right.
I don't know. I grew up in the church. I got forced to go to Catholic school even. But
I always wanted to go. Like,
oh man, it was horrible.
Anybody here need no ruler?
It was horrible. Hail Marys and confession. Nah.
Oh, okay.
I wouldn't force that on nobody's child. Oh God. And then if you ain't Catholic, you can't participate in a little mass and all that other stuff. So it's like
really,
it's always, something where the religion looks down on you if you don't do
trying to exclude you. Yeah.
Yeah, like I was raised in an apostolic church where we had to have a hat, our heads covered, and couldn't have a nail polish on, and couldn't be revealing, couldn't show your kneecaps, your ankles. I mean, it was like all the way straight, damn near Muslim. I don't know if y'all are familiar with it or not.
I definitely am.
Yeah, that was but
I mean, I used to sell bean pies, no joke, when I was about 12. No, seriously, on the corner.
Real?
Yeah. Incense.
I always wondered that, but you would never tell the truth about it, though.
Look, I did tell the truth. You just laughed. I just said to hell with it.
What you said, you would tell the truth all the way, huh?
Yeah, I'd be telling the truth. He just bust out laughing. Like, all right, well, whatever. It's okay. My ego's intact. I'm good.
But have y'all ever I don't know, well, y'all already have y'all kids and everything like that, but for me the question came up about whether I could be married to somebody who was a different religion from me, and I thought that maybe it could work all the way up into the issue of having kids. Like, nah, I can't do that. I cannot have kids with a non-Christian because it's just the thing about our beliefs and all that kind of stuff like that. I felt like there would just be too much conflict.
It depends on how devout.
Agreement. Two different religions is always going to be a disagreement when it's up to the child, because one gonna want to raise it their way and the other one gonna want to raise it that way. So I can see that, but
and that's without religion being involved, though, too.
Yeah, that's true.
Right.
But if you think about it, you're really giving your child the best of both worlds. And say like with or without religion, like you got a biracial baby. So your child gonna learn two different cultures at the same time. Maybe even
I make it a point
at the same time.
I make it a point to teach my side of that too as well.
Child is learning tolerance.
I mean, I have one, so I mean, I make it a point for them to know where they from and what they will be labeled as.
Yeah, my kids definitely know where they from. Shit, my kids is all just about grown, so I done took them back where I came from, so they know where they come from, and all of them, but my oldest is biracial, so that's and one thing. Me and my wife, we sat down one day and asked our kids, you know what I'm saying? Because as a parent, you don't really think about how the kid being brought up as a biracial child, how they feel in this world. You know what I'm saying? So we sat down one day and asked them, how actually do y'all feel knowing that you're biracial, your dad is black, I'm white, but when you go your black side, you ain't black enough. When you go around your white side, you black.
White.
Right. You see what I'm saying?
Crazy.
They and that's what they told us. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how they feel. We always taught our kids, there is no color. We're all human. God created us all.
Ain't but one race, human race.
Mm-hmm.
You
Yeah,
know what
you're
I'm
right
saying?
about
The
that.
human race. That's what we taught our kids. But see, when my kids start going through their teenage years and getting around they high school friends and all that type of stuff and coinciding and they're seeing the world as what it is. So as a parent, I gotta teach them, yo, this is what you, no matter who that person is, you want to look out for this person. That person grinding, black or white. This person is, you don't want to be around this person. It's hard raising kids when, like y'all was saying, society is trying to raise our kids. Society is trying to implant things in our kids' head to where we're fighting society to teach our kids the right fucking way because this is how we are. We have morals and values
I
in the
feel that.
household. So anybody that shines on your morals and values, then fuck them. You don't need them. You don't
And then
have to fit in their circle. And that's what I
another thing
always try
too
to
is teaching them to differentiate. Is that the word for it? But good and bad judgment and character.
Yeah.
Right.
That's the killer part right there. You might
That's
be
my
able to
thing.
be like, oh no, see that's a red flag right there. They're not gonna know.
That is my
Yeah.
thing with my kids. I practice that so hard with them, you know. You feel people's energy, you look at people's actions, listen to what they say, you know, just know better. Shoot.
And if it's a way to teach somebody to follow their first mind,
Exactly.
And you know the
I learned that. Yeah.
all that is, we could tell them till we fucking blue in the face, but is they gonna listen?
They only
Well,
gonna
You never know
fight.
though.
you know, I was a
You never
hard
know.
it's gonna make a difference, man. No matter what the outcome, it's gonna make a difference.
That's
You
right.
not everything you do is not in vain. And I'm gonna
Yeah.
tell you personally, like everything you do is not in vain. You personally, for the simple fact, you can see your results, and you should be hella proud. I know you are.
That's the problem right there because of everything that you doing, and we can all sit here and be in agreement with how individually each other raising our kids and how we all doing such a great job of being parents. But that's our personal opinion versus what society say could be something totally different. And society is what's dictating what's right, what's wrong, what's good, and what's bad. And that is really a fucking problem. That is like a problem that is shit's getting to extremes now because of what society wants and how society wants to control things. And when you don't go along with that, that becomes an issue. I can't stand when people get the lying and carrying on, man. I'm sorry, that just went in left field, man. But you know, folks will sit here.
It fits with it. Anything you're saying, it fits with it. You can say that and still be cool.
Hey, this is something totally different, but it's amazing.
No, I can't stand no lie either. But let's carry on.
Know that you know that they full of shit and they lying and they will continue to do it, and it'd be like, why are you doing this? Because you know that you're not getting nowhere with it, and only thing you're gonna do at the end of the day is push me away and put you in a box that you don't want to be in. So now, when the person get in that box, then they gonna do whatever it takes to get up out of it, even if it's fucking detrimental to their own health. So that shit right there, I don't really have an understanding for that shit or the patience for it. Like, why lie when you don't need to? And then you want to say,
you know, when they say a crazy person think everybody else crazy.
I mean, shit, like, but you know my stance on crazy shit. We all crazy. Ain't no such thing as normal. We all weird.
Yeah, but it's crazy, then it's Rick crazy, and then you got the crazy where they think other people crazy.
You know,
so do y'all feel
crazy,
that
you can be crazy over here, and then get together and y'all crazy mesh well. But you know, everybody crazy don't go together like that.
Nah, actually, it can be two good crazies. It's like magnets.
Yeah. Polar opposites, push them up away.
Yeah, exactly.
Crazy shit.
So do y'all feel that maybe those insecurities about, feeling like you really can't trust nobody, is that something that you kind of try to shelter your kids with? Like you try to get it into their head to make them understand that the whole world ain't your friend.
And that's the whole point of pointing out judgment.
A lot lately.
People judgment of character and stuff like that. That's the whole deal, because a lot of times kids gonna tell the truth, and then you might want to stop them and ask them a few more questions. Be like, well, look, anytime somebody does this, this is what's going on. If somebody offered to give you something, don't take it. Ain't nothing free.
Yeah,
I mean, say, you know, it's a friendly gesture, but you just don't do that.
Okay, my youngest son, I just recently went through that with him a few months ago, where you know, dad, everybody like you, everybody love you, dad. No, son, everybody don't like me, everybody don't love me. Some people like me, some people don't. You know what I mean? And that's a harsh reality. Like he was watching YouTube the other day, and dad, this kid got more toys than me. That's not fair. Life ain't fair, little nigga. You know what I mean? It ain't gonna never be fair.
You better get you a YouTube channel like this kid and get to work.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like off the rip, he needs to know it now so he don't be let down later on. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, definitely, definitely. And I'm guilty of that type of stuff too, though. Like I mean, like I said, we learn.
We want to shelter our kids and keep them protected from this world, but at the same time, we know that we need to let them know how this world actually operates so that they can motherfucking live in it. Because we was raised, how we was raised is for a world that don't exist no more.
Exactly.
Right. That's right. That's right.
So we got to give them, especially nowadays with everything that's going on, we got to give them as many advantages as we can as early as possible. Because they're the ones that's got to make it through this. And it was crazy because, this is true, like, we, as much as we all want change and we claim to like change, certain shit we don't want to be changed. But it's easier for a kid to deal with COVID than it is for an adult because a child, this is all they know.
Yeah, think about if we had this
5, 6 years ago, 2 years ago, the world wasn't like this for us. So now that the world is the way it is, now you got people that don't feel comfortable conforming or changing to what the world is. You got folks right now that will kill you because they don't want to wear a mask or because you're not wearing one.
And man, another thing too, like I miss raw dog and air. When you raw dog and air.
Raw dog air.
Raw dog and air.
Oh, you miss raw dog and air. Okay.
Raw dogging air. No, you gotta wear a mask.
Oh, no, you can't do that no more.
No, we can't raw dog air no more.
You catch the case.
They're gonna be charging us for air now.
I still got my.
Yeah, look.
I still got mine on because I've been with clients and stuff like that, and you know, I hate that though. I hate that because it just feels unnatural.
Yeah,
and like my breathing, I'm just off now. Like I have shortness. I'm like dizzy all the damn time.
You got to forgive me because I'm a little slow because I was thinking about 2 different things when you said that. I was thinking about actually raw dogging, like, yeah, I missed that too. But now
no, it's a different climate, baby. This ain't the 70s, baby. We can't just slide in like that, baby. You know?
No, you can't.
No, but yeah, it's raw dog and air. It's like breathing without a mask.
Man, listen, and the bad part about it is the health community is divided up because there's so many people that to get out here and tell you that it's unhealthy for you to wear a mask and breathe in carbon monoxide for a long period of time, which is true. But would you rather catch the Rona or possibly give the Rona out or suffer and not be able to breathe for a little bit?
Or be mad as hell because you got a mask and still catch it.
Is this like a mind fuck or something? Because like, I swear, you say Rona, people think they got it.
Well, you can't know. And the thing about that day is when it first hit, they started passing out them tests. And it's still to this day right now. That test could be false negative, false positive.
And that's what one of our first podcasts. We're talking about false negatives and false positives.
Tested some fruit and it came back positive. And they said they didn't want to.
In Africa, they tested that fruit. They tested
the
fruit.
Yeah. You actually, Ricky, you told me about that. That's funny.
Fruit.
Yeah.
And
that's just
came back positive.
I believe if people just believe it's really there, they're going to think it in their mind and they're going to have the symptoms. And then it's there you go.
Well, that goes anyway. Your health is part of your mental too. Like if you believe sick, you're going to feel sick.
Exactly.
It's more mental. So anyway, on top of that, that's without the corona.
Like that shit crazy.
And that's why they give people help that's very sick in hospitals and stuff, because your mental state is very important to you getting well.
It is.
Yeah.
And we had another podcast
all the time.
Yeah, you got people constantly telling you it's deadly and there's bodies piling up. People gonna get to believe in that shit. And even though there's no bodies piling up and no hospitals are packed, but they're telling these people.
But when they are, it makes it worse because you thinking you part of that.
Yeah, because you don't know, but old people watch the
You
news.
don't know which way to go with it now.
Old people watch the news religiously. So if they're watching this shit on every channel, death and mayhem, the numbers are rising. You know what I'm saying? They're constantly showing this shit over and over again. They're gonna believe it.
Yeah,
and that's sad. That is so sad.
I never thought it would be a journey making it home and going back to work, doing my job, trying to stay alive, to keep things going. That's feeling you get.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that feeling you get. Like I'm going straight home, and my life can depend on it.
We all got sick before Rona came out, like in February, January of the end of last year. We all got sick and had respiratory infections.
January for me, I got sick.
Yeah, like kids,
and I never get sick. I get sick once, maybe whatever 5 years.
December to February, the whole United States was sick at some point.
Yes, and then it already hit, and they already
didn't even know it. They was keeping it on hush because the shit was in the States. The shit was in the States early. Like it hit in October in China, and before you could blink your eye,
it was here in November.
The shit was here.
It was here in November.
Motherfuckers to beat that shit. They weren't gonna say nothing. But
no. Trump dismantled the pandemic task force.
Yeah,
and he
also said they supposedly, with the fake news, you never know. But he said he downplayed it. You know what I mean?
No, he have a recording of him downplaying it, saying that
like I'm talking about fake news again. If that's real, because I can record your voice saying a bunch of shit that you ain't said, bro.
It's even on.
So with his character, you think he really just like he was gonna pop his game and they
said that shit.
Right? They had a.
I don't even believe he really had it.
I do.
I don't believe that either. You really believe it?
That shit to go home.
Look, his rallies caused over 100,000 cases of COVID.
You got to remember though, you talking about a group of people that's alienated because they support this man. They to the point where they calling these folks Trumpers. A lot of these Trumpers, they brought it up when we was on one show where she was talking about the QAnon people and shit too. Like you got a lot of folks that still don't believe that this shit is real. But to me, Trump is a double agent. You're not going to tell me a multi-billionaire is one of them.
They ain't gonna just let him in.
You know what I mean?
For no reason.
He is not educated in the fact of being a leader. He's a businessman, but he is not a leader.
I mean, what do you call a CEO of a company? Is that not a leader?
No, a CEO is a CEO. They just the face of the brand. You got people working that's under him that make numbers.
Yeah,
I'm a CEO of my company
to an extent. That's like a president of a company. They still a leader over a group of people.
Our United States president, he is just the face of the damn country.
Yeah,
and Trump went out of his way to change stuff that he had power to. That's why they do a lot of pardons and stuff like that. They don't have too much power to do stuff, but change stuff, undo stuff that's already done.
Well, first and foremost, we are a republic. So the Senate and the House is what's really controlling the country. The president is the mouthpiece for this select group of people that actually run the country. Most people don't know that because they think because we have a democratic process that we're a democracy and this one man run the whole show.
No, that never was the case.
But most people don't know anything about politics or anything. Like I said, most people, the fact that I just said that we are a republic, that shit went over a lot of people's heads, and it's still gonna go over a lot of people's heads to this day. Most people don't know that shit. But I was gonna say though, since we talking about parenting and everything and with the COVID, what do y'all think is best for these kids when it comes to education right now?
Homeschool.
That's what I do every day, and then you could be aware of everything that's going on.
Homeschool.
Even before the Rona hit, I think homeschool was always best for.
Now I see that. And then there's less problems.
They were doing too much in the schools.
They do.
Way too much.
It was that time anyway.
Yeah, so I'd say that was the best. That's the best now.
That was the worst thing they could have ever did.
Me personally, I've always, and I've been saying this for a long time, and it's hard to do because you can't get us as a people to come together for shit. It's always crabs in the bucket. But I've been saying this for a long time, not to be like, oh, we finna just straight up defect from the country, but we need to be pulling together our resources, buying up land. We need to pull our kids up out of the schools. We need to be teaching our kids about agriculture, how to farm, how to hunt, how to fish, how to survive off the land. How we need to be knowing about fucking the economy and shit. Like Dr. Claude Anderson got a book, Powernomics. I don't know if any of y'all read that.
Self-teaching trades, because you don't have to have a degree. You can self-teach yourself a lot of shit.
Yeah, you can. I mean, most of them.
Hey, Dave, you self-taught yourself how to do some stuff too, though.
And
I
see, but you know what? But you know what, y'all? But you know what? You've always been able to self-teach yourself everything from medicine to law, whatever. But see, what they did is they invented licensing. So now, whenever you have a trade or an ability to do something, there is no way that you can practice doing that without the proper license. You even need a license to fish. Think about that.
Yeah.
That's some
So, do a
Right.
lot of things, but it's not even just the licensing. They took away people's will to want to do anything outside of what they're giving.
Because they were giving us factory jobs, and we had that, and we were, turning that hamster wheel, being a part of the labor force.
But the
So
industrial
once
revolution been over with for like a good 7 to 8 years now, maybe even more.
And they did not reteach skills. All they're teaching is all that, the basic stuff that you'll need to work a factory job. They're not teaching you anything to be highly skilled at something.
Because school is a social
they're teaching you how to go to college and get in debt.
Mhm.
And then when you come out of college, you're in debt, and they're teaching you to live a life of debt, living off your credit cards.
But yeah, you right about that, Dave, but that's to an extent because most kids ain't gonna go to college. School right now teaches the kid how to sit still for 8 hours and be a good worker.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
That's exactly what that
Get
is.
along with other employees. That's it.
That's exactly what that is.
Knowledge on what to do to further yourself in this economy. They teach you enough to where you could be a productive member of society. That's it. Not to be, and you, if you want to really look at it, most of the multi-millionaires, multi-billion, a lot of these folks ain't got no real formal education. They might be high school most of them high school dropouts for real.
Or their parents pay for their little shit. Like them Hollywood people was paying for their kids' education and was getting caught up for that shit.
Yeah, they did fair time.
Full House.
Yeah,
but you know something?
Aunt Becky. What was that, Aunt Becky?
Oh yeah, that's
Aunt Becky from Full House.
That was Aunt Becky.
She had got in trouble with the colleges and stuff.
But I'm not against college, but I feel like college has to be a part of a plan to a future. So if you have a dream and a goal,
fraternity or sorority,
part of that. It has to be a part of your plan. You can't just go to college and say, "Oh, I'm here until I find out what my major is going to be," or "I'm here and living off of financial aid and all that kind of stuff like that, racking up debt." That's not a good way to go to college. You have to say, "Okay, you know what? I want to be a graphic arts designer or something like that." So you go to college to learn that skill specifically. And then, once you got the technical skills built up, then you can go into the world and sell yourself. You can actually write your own ticket, but you have to make college a plan. It can't just be, "Oh, I graduated, I'm 18, so I guess I got to go here for 4 years." That's stupid.
What you saying make great sense, but the problem with that is only 30% of the people that graduate from college actually find jobs in that field that they went to school for. That's the issue in itself.
Like what's nowadays? Everybody go be a nurse. I mean,
nurses. See what I do, CNAs and stuff.
Yeah, like that shit is filled up now. Like that's not.
It is. And
that's what my company does.
That they would be hiring nurses and CNAs and LRNs and LPNs left and right. But they've been actually getting rid of that shit.
Go ahead,
and we dealing with a whole pandemic, and people that work in the health industry can't find work.
Yeah, that don't make no
sense. Right, that don't make sense. But see, that's what my company does.
A lot of the health industry, they got work, lots of it, and short of health nurses. So the people that I know, they complain about not enough nurses in certain medical institutes. Hell,
All right,
let's call
Drea,
it that.
what was you gonna say?
Oh, well,
Know about
oh,
the
I was gonna
shortage
say,
of nurses.
basically, that's what my company does. I actually take people who have degrees and certifications, professional skills, even people without professional skills, and I actually teach them and help them become business owners. That's what I do. I coach them to that.
I need to talk to you.
So I have people everywhere, everything from stylists to designers. I don't really work with musicians too much, but everything else, I kind of just I help them take that skill. Like I have people that are auto mechanics that can't afford to get a shop. Well, I go find the funding for them. I help them register their business, and next thing we know, we're setting up a shop. And I'm teaching them how to run and manage a shop, how to do your payroll, how to make sure that everything that you're doing, you're keeping records for your bookkeeper, all of those things.
Okay, with that being said, though, everybody gonna plug. That was a hell of a plug too, by the way.
I wasn't trying to do that, but I'm just saying, like, even if there are people who are going to college feeling like, oh, this is a waste of time because there's no future for me, the future has to be with us creating our own jobs. That's just what it is.
Yes.
Capitalism and entrepreneurship. But we done came in at the tail end of that shit where now they want everybody to conform and just be slaves to what they want us to do.
Yeah, just like they legalizing cannabis everywhere. That's gonna mess up
Exactly.
everybody's small business. It's gonna mess them all up.
The issue I got with that shit still to this day is, you know how many motherfuckers still locked up because of marijuana?
Go. They said
But
that next year. Next year.
They're repealing a lot of
Yeah.
So
they
I
said
mean,
a lot of people about to get out.
I mean, I don't hold your breath on a lot of folks coming home. And the problem with that is and still to this day, and I'm finna get on my pro-black shit. You got plenty of niggas that's locked up in behind that shit. Now white folks capitalizing off of selling marijuana.
Exactly.
That's still an issue. And most of them, because there's some shit that we've been doing since forever, but most of them still got the leg up because they can go to a bank, they can get loans and buy all the equipment and shit that they need. Boom, jump out here, and now they making hundreds of thousands of dollars. And niggas is still struggling. And most of our brothers and fathers and uncles and all that shit locked up right now for doing the same shit that's legal to this day.
All right.
But you know,
with that being said, though, I mean, go ahead. I got one more rebuttal.
I'm gonna say just this, that is something that we got to think about as a community. This is an unpopular opinion, but I'm also a lawyer. So the number one thing I would tell you is that you have to obey the law, work to change it, and then capitalize on it. You can't just break the law.
Every time we start to get ahead, they change the laws to keep us from
but I'm just saying, all the drug dealing and all the kind of stuff like that we went through, because I lived in that environment and everything like that. I mean, people I love are part of that. But all of that we went through, breaking the law, jeopardizing ourselves, and then getting convicted, and then wanting the law to do the right thing, which is basically expunge our records and all that kind of stuff like that. It doesn't work that way.
It's not going to work that way because the laws was never meant to help us. The Constitution was wrote to keep us segregated and down up under their control.
That's absolutely true.
That they try to give a minority rights, they have to go back and revise the Constitution. So that furthermore lets you know that this system was never meant for us.
It's not meant for us. It's not meant for us. But when we actually fight for change and we get those little incremental changes, we have to use that to our advantage. Like Brown versus the Board of Education, that was a big old change as far as desegregating schools.
It's minuscule. It's like this. So once again, we fighting and scratching tooth and nail to get to a position to be equal for a system that was not meant for us to be equal. No matter what we do, they're going to continue. Anytime we do things the way that they say to do it, and we start to get momentum to move forward, they're going to change a law that is going to make us go back.
It will never ever be
I believe in that. Learn the system, beat the system.
You can't beat the system.
It would never ever be fair. It'll never be set up fair for us.
It's not. Never. So you gotta change it into your own game.
Through the system. You gotta outwork the system. You gotta out hustle the system. And saying that,
Get out.
And like you gotta like go out and do some dirty shit. No, you
Right,
gotta
no.
be work your ass off. If you want to get ahead of the system,
Yeah.
you gotta go work and struggle and strive and get what you trying to get and get the fuck on up out the way. Because
But see,
this
and
system
that's
was
what I'm
not
saying. That's what I'm saying. That's exactly what we need to be doing. But the problem with that, once again, is once we start making some type of leeway, they find a way to say, "Well, these niggas is playing by the rules, so let's change the game." That's how you ever gonna
That's
come
true.
up when the rules keep changing, man? You know what I mean? Like if I'm a professional athlete, like
Be
say we play
prepared.
football, you
Be
know what I mean?
prepared.
And I can't
No,
motherfucking hit the quarterback, but I'm already got momentum. I'm finna hit this nigga.
look,
Ain't no way of not hitting them. So then when I fall to the side and touch the shoelace, they're like,
That's
"Oh, we
the
gotta
but
find
look,
this
but
nigga."
look, but look, you
Yeah.
gotta be prepared. You gotta be
That's
prepared
right,
because just like I'm not a cards player or nothing like that, but people, they cheat and all that kind of stuff like that. They know how to count cards. We gotta be like that. We gotta think like that. Try to predict the move.
Yep.
And
And
once
that's
you
the thing
understand
about it
the move,
is that's what keep us fucked up because we always gotta find a way to count the cards, and that's cheating. But once you get caught cheating, you fuck.
No.
So
You
even when
can you can
don't
you
count
can
the
beat a
cards,
cheater.
yeah, you
yeah,
can be
there you
cheater. But the
go.
thing about that is when the cheater running the system, the cheater gonna be like, "Oh no," they gonna find a way to make you renege. It's
We're
just what
gonna have
it is.
to agree to disagree on this one. This has been great. This is the whole point of this though.
No,
Everybody
y'all got some good conversation. I'm like, we can keep going.
I know, but the time
It's
constraint, I
good
gotta
though.
sit here and
I
upload
be
it and
willing
wait like
to, but we
I
second for
got
got
you.
second
time
for
limit.
everything to download and
I
everything.
got you.
But this has been great, and that's the whole point of this podcast. Everybody not gonna have the same opinion,
And they ain't supposed to.
and we don't knock nobody for having a different opinion. White, red, yellow, blue, pink, purple don't matter.
I wish I could have some more of my white, red, yellow, pink, purple, and polka dot people on this show. You know how hard it is really to get people to, that's what really gets my goal is because motherfuckers be like, yeah, I'm going to do the show. And then when it comes time to do the show, no. It's horrible. It's horrible.
Well, you see,
But everybody gonna want to be a part of something once they see that you actually moving with it.
It
So
ain't
once
even
we get
about being a
that
part of
following,
nothing. I mean, everybody I know got a voice and got an opinion, and they always talking about it. So why not let millions of people or thousands or however
you're so
many
right.
Yeah, all 10 of them.
Eric, we had a conversation earlier. Everybody got opinions and stuff. This is a perfect platform for them, right?
Right. Yeah.
So I'm just running that from what Ricky's saying. Like we know some people that got opinions about this and that, but hey,
yeah.
But you know what?
I like it.
It's one thing to say it behind closed doors. It's another thing to say it where people gonna hear you. And the problem with that is because after you say something, you don't want to be looked at a certain way and labeled a certain way to speak in your mind. And it's crazy.
I don't think it's a single person in here right now that's taken away from anything they would say. They're gonna say this in person. They'll say this to anybody. Like you, everybody on here, they're gonna say the same thing no matter who it is.
Right. And I respect that realness because I always think about like celebrities and stuff like that. Like every time they say something wrong, it's all over Twitter, it's all over Facebook. But I'm like, you just a real person. You just a real person. You're gonna be wrong sometimes and you're gonna get it right sometimes. That's just life. So I'm not worried about what somebody's saying, like, Andrea, you was wrong about that. You don't know what you're talking about. So
yeah,
like,
Andrea ain't famous neither, and she ain't being looked at under a microscope. So that becomes
I will be. I will be.
Yes. It's in the making. It's in the making. Mm-hmm. I don't want to sound like no hater. It's in the making.
That's right. That's right.
All right. Anybody got anything they want to plug though?
Oh, I got to plug that Gifts and Thrifts, man, over in Ypsilanti. We doing the big things this Christmas. We helping the family. We blessing the family with up to 4 members in the family. Mm-hmm. It could be husband, wife, 2 kids. It could be mama with 3 kids. It don't matter, daddy with 3 kids. We blessing the family at Thrifts and Gifts with that one, and then I'm turning around and blessing another family with Dub Shack Entertainment. That one is 2 family looking for a boy about between the ages of 8 to 10. Right now, got a lot of shit for a little boy from about 8 to 10 for him to have a nice little Christmas. with that family, we're gonna give
You
out the
got some
turkey and the
contact
ham and
information for anybody that's listening. I ain't mean to interrupt you, but for anybody that's listening
Oh.
that got a kid that it,
Sure, I got
Yeah,
two right here.
you see. Contact information, man. You can hit me up on Dub Shack on Instagram. You can hit up Thrifts and Gifts and Thrifts on Instagram. Gifts and Thrifts on Facebook. And that's it.
And if
man.
anybody got any issue or want to hit them up or anything, I got personal contact info. If you really want to get in touch with them and anything like up close and personal, whatever you're serious, I can get you connected.
Andrea, you want to plug your business again?
Yes, my business is mybizwriter.com, and BizWriter is basically business planning and consulting. Like I said, we build businesses and create businesses, and I also wanted to plug one of my special clients. She has done an incredible thing with Spoiled Creations, and Spoiled Creations is a full customized design company. So she customizes all kinds of materials, t-shirts, sweaters, backpacks, everything. She does sublimation printing, vinyl, all kinds of printing. So she's a legitimately dope artist. So Spoiled Creations.
All right. I want to give a shout out, plug People's Podcast. Thanks to the pandemic, this is the only thing that's came good out of it in my eyes. You know, thanks,
Well,
Rick. Thanks, Rick. The brainstorming, great minds think alike. I'll tell you that. Also, I want to plug Layla Boutique United Without Division. That's she has a shop on Michigan Ave, Ypsilanti. She does all the hoodies and everything for me. Does professional quality work. Anybody who need a plug or anything, let me know. I'll see you connect directly. Day, is are you set up yet?
No, not yet. Still getting there.
All right.
Yeah,
Well, I will
coming
be the
soon.
first
Be on
to
the
push
lookout
it.
for baby girl because she got a lot of shit going on, man.
Man.
And when you get ready, come back to the show so you can go ahead and drop that bomb on us.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna have everything set up.
All right.
You
For
more
sure.
like these holidays get done, I'll be ready.
And Day, I'm gonna hook you up with Andrea too, though, so you can get,
Yes.
make sure y'all get on that level though.
Yes, I love to talk to her.
I'll be
Definitely.
looking forward.
All right, y'all.
All right, nice
right.
meeting you.
Yeah,
Building
great
and
show, great
networking,
show.
that's what we do, building and networking.
Definitely, and good
This
conversation.
episode was fire. This was fire, y'all.
Oh yeah,
It
definitely,
really was.
definitely. All right, y'all.
All right, good night.
Good night, y'all.